Morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Bread for Soul Convos. It's a new week, brand new week. It's episode 43 that we are doing, and the aim of this show, as some of you might know if you've been watching, the aim of the show is to really teach one another, learn from one another, and by sharing experiences, by sharing knowledge, because no one should not succeed based on lack of information. If you're not succeeding, it should be either you are lacking the talent, or you are lacking the drive, or any other thing. So on today's show, just like any other show, got a guest that somebody who, for me, is like a legendary figure in its own way, or is getting to the legendary status. But basically, I've got MIGGS FOREAL, who's been playing for years and years and years. I remember the first time I saw a MIGGS FOREAL House Styles, the CD, the compilation back in 2005. Amazing stuff,
Yes,
bruh. How are you, Mixer?
I'm humbled. I'm sorted. I'm happy to be here. And you stated the legendary. I'm far from that. Being legendary, it's a huge word, and I don't think I'll ever get to that level. Legendary. That's something big. I don't even know what to say. Legendary. No.
Well, the nice thing about this legendary thing is that you don't get to tell us if you are legendary or not. Ronaldo or Chela or Emuna, you are a legend. When I don't worry about it. But if
Bless
anything,
you.
you are on the way there. You are on the way there.
I've seen on Facebook, even when a DJ's been playing for 5 years, like, hey, I was with the legendary whoever. And I'm like, okay, do you know the meaning of legendary? But it's fine. It's a story for another day.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
think I think you
but I'm
definitely
humble.
headed there, bro. You know why, Kerealo? Because like, for me, if somebody does it for long enough, like, and through ups and downs, and still carries through doing what they love, and not only stay in one space, because you've managed to also grow yourself from being somebody who's just compiling CDs to selling records to
Yes,
DJing to teaching, and we're gonna unpack a lot of that as we go on the show.
yes,
Mara ne ke batla ho botsa
true.
pele, like where did the passion come from? Like for DJing, o bone ka mang before you even thought about DJing? Who did you see?
You know what, bro? Um, I stay in Harankua, and growing up in Harankua, there were DJs around, and there were popular DJs around, and one of those DJs that I used to follow a lot on weekends, whenever he goes out to play, was Nasty Neff. That was in 1994.
Eh.
Yeah.
Onolukosela
Imagine.
wena, were you in high school?
No, I did my high school in 99. Yeah, I did my high school in 99. But at home, they knew I loved music because my dad and my uncle, they had a record player at home and go Harankua. So there were records. The house was full of records from your George Benson, your CC and BB Winans, your like oh your at home there were all types of music, and that's why I fell in love with music, obviously. So going around and checking out posters, Kokasi, and checking out Nasty Nev, and hearing people talking about, hey, Neville, try the vinyl. And I was like, vinyls? But I have vinyls at home. But unfortunately, there was jazz vinyls.
Yeah.
So actually, the first person that I saw playing was him, and he did the most. I don't want to lie to you guys. He was just on another level. He was different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like, have you always had a good relationship with him?
No, I was afraid of him. Kintwana. And I had a friend who was staying not far from him. Then he said, Mix, do you know Rata music? Let's go and speak to Neville. I'll speak to him so he can able to teach you how to DJ. Then I said, I can't. Then I went to his house and I saw him, then I ran away. because he was so amazing. Me looking at him was like, wow, this dude, he's playing on SO 1200. He's got a nice sound and he's well respected in our community, and he plays good music. And I was much afraid of him. So what I did, I had to, because I was attending school, I was in at Edu College. So there were record stores around. So I had to go to record stores and get some more info about vinyls. And there was DJ Syndicates where I met Ryan Loader, my then partner. Then I wanted to go to Neville knowing how to play. Sure. I didn't want to go to Mr. Bed and like, okay, fine. Hey, please teach me how to play. Please give me those vinyls. I just wanted to go to him with my own bag of music that I have compiled or that I have bought. You know?
And I want to know, like, throughout the years, then, did he always play a role of a mentor to you, Nasty Nev?
Bro, he's I've met so many people that they wanted to help, but people have different mindset. People are different, but Neville is amazing. Very, very amazing. He took me under his wing. He saw my passion because I went to Flipside. That was in '99, I think. Or was it? Oh, it was 2000, just after my matric.
Hold on. Before you carry on, I've just made a call to Neville. Hold on. Hey, bro, Nev.
Sure.
Pere?
Sharper than the sauce.
Ne, ke shapo braga. Thank you for that call ya ka man phakela so.
Yeah, sure, I enough flow.
Yeah, kinale MIGGS on the show. So ne ke batla go bua fela like regarding you discovering him when santsane le mfana and just seeing him what he has done, relationship ya lona fela ne le yang wa bona.
Sir LSG. Damani ke boss wa.
Ke boss.
Ke boss Lucas. Wona ke boss. Yo. Ke fena dama like Joe, I know we all loved other DJs, but not the Daman.
No, let's hear from him. Eric from Nev. Sure, bro, Nev.
Sure, listeners.
Yeah.
Onali Mixara.
Can I mix that?
Yeah, that's my boy. He's one of the boys that I'm proud of. We've come so much long way, Naledai boy. When he was young, hey, it's a long story, but look, it's one of the boys that I'm so proud of. Mixie has done well, and yeah, I remember when he was still young, coming to my house after I did my records. Like he'll always say like, Nasty, yo, get yo, give me that stuff. You know what?
Yeah.
And I'll give him records. And then he'll pick up these records. But amazingly, he'll pick up like weird records, because when once you're an upcoming DJ, you always choose the obvious records. But he always chose those weird records, and I could sense or mix a very good year in terms of music. Understand? And he'll go and play. Tomorrow morning when he comes back, and he'll be like happy, like bosso, then yeah, that's my relationship with mixing. And I used to do parties, good darling. And I used to pull like 5,000 people. I remember first night when he played, I did my party and I called him to come and play. And he was so scared, like, I can't play. No, you need to play. No, man, I can't play. What I'm going to play? Play whatever you play. And, that time, Vainalea, Love is a Liar was new. I won't forget that moment. Then he played, when he played Love is a Liar, I saw 5,000 people go crazy. They were crazy, and that was Mix's moment, and that's how Kasi knew the bone of Mixara, you know.
Sure.
It was the best moment for him, even for Navier, because, you know, he was so young. I mean, tiny, but he played music mufeta.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, but as I'm saying, I'm so proud of him, and Mfanaga, keep it up. You know, I've always supported you, and go for stand up line, keep it up.
Sure.
There's one thing that makes me happy, that made me happy today. I was speaking to Bubbles. I remember after I'm going to big matching, then I'm leaving Jackass. I'm going to meet somebody that really inspired me, and Antus. And then you were not welcome me. You just took me in. I said, you know what, boy, let's do this. I mean, all your gigs that you had, you were taking me along. They booked you, but you just brought me, like, come play. And I don't think a lot of people can do that. I don't think a lot of people, because people, they want to promote themselves, and so they can be on their heights, but they forget about the other guys that want to be part of the lineup. But you took me in, and I saw the fact that you could help me, not only me, but you helped other people, other DJs. Like you had a bigger hand. Like you were just giving away. Like, guys, come, let's play and let's be happy.
Sure.
And that thing, it's God given, and meaning you're giving, and I appreciate, and for that I love you so much, and I appreciate it. Today I am who I am today because of you sorted me out.
Sure.
Like,
now I'm grateful, Fala. I know it means a lot of line. It means a lot of line. As I'm saying, Lena, from my side, look, I'm proud of you, Blaine. And remembering where we're coming from, you know, and look, even today we still won. We had our fights, but we still won at the end of the day. You understand? And we still won, and I'm happy, Blaine, for that. I'm so much happy. And I know you are one of the best DJs out there, you know. Because we share everything. So MIGGS, we share everything. MIGGS will play a set and call me and say, boss, I play a set of an hour. No one even danced. I don't know, those people understood me. And I will always say to him, look, this is our job. This is what we do.
Yeah.
We play music over to us. This is our job, to introduce music to people. And you did great. And after 3-4 days, and then he come back to me and say, Bozo, but what left the problem for me? You see, this is how we do it, you know? Because we always played exclusive. MIGGS, we never compromise. I'm telling you, everybody who came to Haramgwa, they'll tell you, Hore, we played exclusives. We always chase for exclusives.
Sure.
We never go for the commercial songs, you know, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I saw in MIGGS.
Sure.
I bought so many records. You know, I had so many records, but when MIGGS come to my house and pick up records, he'll pick those weird records that not any other DJ will play.
Sure.
And that's what made him unique, and that's why today he's a unique DJ. Because he always plays that unique sound. You know, he's always chasing for that uniqueness. You know, and that's, I think, for me, DJing, that's how we should be. We don't have to play music that people love, but we need to introduce music to people. You know, people have to get the value for their money. You know.
Yeah.
And that's how we did it.
Because I know you, I've spent many times with you. Conversation here for hour. Me and you are gonna save this one for the show. When I have you on the show, then but thank you for taking your time for this, Brian.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. So
thank you.
Good luck, MIGGS. Sure.
Thank you for everything, Bona. Whatever you've done for me, I can't even repay you. But the only thing that I can give you is love.
Sure. And then I love the story of brotherhood between Wenale and but also there's something we mention with regards to Pretoria and DJs. You guys have some of the most like baddest DJs. You know, like I'm talking but like Vinida Vinci, Babanti, like Positive K, Nasty Nev is one of those. Bubbles, like what do you think created that era Pretoria of creating these like dope DJs?
It was the culture, and it was love when we started back in the days. And I realized that I know Bubbles, Bubbles was a club DJ, fully club DJ, playing lounge, hip hop, and soulful house. And Nevele was a DJ and Lelobokas. But Bowles loved Neville. Neville loved Bowles. You know what I mean? And because of we were behind getting the best records, the best music. So our aim as DJs at Pretoria was we get to a record store and we don't buy what's mainstream. If Ganyan released an album, we're not gonna buy songs that are on Ganyan's album. No, we can have them, but we'll buy something different, unique, because record stores were importing music. So a lot of DJs, they will go to stores. I know like in vinyl that he had DJ Monde Pay, the late DJ Monde Pay, or buying a song that Iggy Small played, the late Iggy Small played. So we were on about, okay, we have got a gig this coming weekend. We need to go and source for music. We need to go to the record stores and look for weird music so we can able to play weird music so we can be, we want it to be different, basically.
Yeah, no, I love that.
So that's the art.
Yeah, and it didn't stop with you, you know, like there's been other guys who came through, like
Yes.
Boket Laket, Transmike Soul as well is one of those guys.
Yes.
You know, if I could mention just those two, but I mean, there's many other DJs, Bokanunu, you know, like Koka Sifeto, like Pretoria, just as a town, what you guys have done for the scene, you know, it's really amazing, and I think it's also a reason why back in the day House 22 was called like the Mecca of house. You know, Unoka Square House 22 fella. Kopitori, you had to be very serious House and House 22. And that was dope. But Kiwatla was about your compilations on USM Records for Real House Styles. How did you get the first compilation going?
Bruh, like I said, it's brotherhood. Did you know that I was hooked up by Bubbles? Imagine, he taught me how to beat mix. Then I left him. I said, you know what, I'm never, so I can able to pursue my career. Then Bubbles hooked me up. You know what, you're a great DJ. And that time I was working with Ryan at we just opened For Real, and he just hooked up the guys at USM and said, guys, this is Mix and this is Ryan. And I think Mix plays good music and he's a very cool DJ in Pretoria. How about we sort him out with a nice compilation? Because that time Bubbles was doing his house tunes, and he was releasing his own albums, those 45s, those mid tempos as well. And that's how we got a deal. And the reason why we got a deal was because of we were selling good music to people. You know, we were selling a lot of good records to a lot of DJs. So we needed to come out with a compilation and called For Real House Styles. That was the name of the shop, For Real House. And believe you me, that album, it was an amazing album. I think I did close to 20,000 sales on that album back in the days, hard copies. And I remember I went to mix the album. I had 12 tracks. You know, when you mix an album back in the days, we used to mix on 10 tools. And I've seen a lot of DJs when they were busy doing albums, and they would do like 5 cuts or 10 cuts. You know, you make mistakes here and there. Unlike now, you can just cut. With the technology, it's easy. But then we used to do it live, analog. You know, I did 1 cut. I got there, so I left. Another guy looked at me and said, bro, I did it out of my love and then I left. Even volume 2, the same thing. 1 cut. Imagine, because that was passion. And the music that I put there was, nobody had it. And funny enough, when the album came out, some record labels, big record labels, took some of my songs and put them in their albums. Because I was, you know what I mean? Because like sharp, I'm all like sharp. But I couldn't attend, you know what I mean? That was the weirdest thing ever. And yeah, man, and there was the support obviously from Brother with their Bubbles hooking me up with that album. That album did wonders, and it put us in the map, and it launched the store. And then that's what happened next, basically.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about the store, but before we do, you, Bubbles, and Nasty Nev and your partner Ryan once formed another group. I think it was Motswako, right?
Yes,
Motswako Underground.
but yeah. So you understand that, and you know, because of I loved Bubbles for his sound. I loved Nasty Nev for him mentoring me, and I had Ryan as a partner at For Real, and I'm surrounded by great people who are not boasting about life, who are just enjoying getting a record. You know what I mean? And enjoy making music, lounging music. I remember sometimes we'll make a song in the studio, and it will be like a loungy, slow song, and we'll go crazy, like, yo, this is so great. You know what I mean? So coming together with those guys, and doing one company, and we realized that Nasty Nev was now starting to produce music, and his music was making waves. And Ryan just opened a studio, and he told me that, you know what, Mix, I can see we're at For Real, but I'm gonna leave For Real, then I'm gonna start a new company called Motswako. I'm gonna leave For Real because of the sales are not going very well. Our suppliers overseas are crying because of sales are going down because of the digital era is coming. Then that's when we started Motswako. Then we started to make music at Motswako. We've got a big catalog that is unreleased, but I'm sure if it can be released, you will be happy. But Motswako was quite nice because we released Nasty Nef's first album, and we did. And Mixo was one of us as well. I had Clement as well, and we released Babu's album. We released my album. Obviously, we were a small label, and we didn't have the contacts, those heavy contacts. We didn't have PR. We just printing CDs and trying to get them to music. But we didn't have the knowledge in terms of getting our music broad. We knew how to get our music on Beatport and stuff, but getting our music to all the musical stores, it was a mission, and we needed PR, and that's what we lacked. You know what I mean? But for the fact that we did it, we were content about it.
Sure.
Very content.
Man, you had to be, because like the work that you guys did reached, a lot of people, myself included. And now that time, 2005, I was in Mafikeng, when you released the first For Real Hostiles. And as I'm getting into like Johannesburg, doing first year at 2006, and then I see like as years go, Motswako Underground pops up, like you guys, for the work that you were doing. And I remember there used to be a book. That book nearby Paisa the record store. It was actually a free book.
BPM magazine.
BPM magazine. Yes, that magazine had everything. Everything you had to know about house music was on BPM. Was there. New releases, new vinyl, new shops, new gear, everything. Man, those were the days.
But are you aware that was a culture? That was the culture that we had back in the days, and we don't have that now. Or maybe we have it on a digital platform. But that time it was a physical book that had all the information about our DJing school, our gigs, the new clubs, about Juno, about importing vinyls. So all the information was just based in one book, and you could able to advertise yourself as a DJ. Like, I am Miss For Real, I'm from Parankua, I'm a hip-hop DJ.
Yeah, and it was free. The best part is that it was free. You just walk into a record store, you get the book, my man.
Those people who did that mag, it was all about love. You know, when you do something out of love, forget about the money. Even when I started DJing, money was not the first thing. Believe you me, money was not the first thing. I only started to see money later on. You know what I mean? And because I took DJing as a hobby, so the guys who did the BPM magazine, they had love, they had passion. Hence they focused and went all out and gather all the information, phone all the DJs, and those who want to advertise can advertise. So it was kind of dope. There's a nice era actually, Although things have changed now, but it's one of those things, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those reasons why shows like this, I feel like for the culture, are important. So we kind of like recreate that culture again in the new era? What are we doing to actually promote what we do and promote our own scene? But I want to ask you about
That
something else now. You you started the label with, I mean, the record shop with Ryan, and you guys were selling records. Records were flowing. Then you went on to
yes,
Motswako with Nasty Nev and Bubbles
yes,
as well, and then that was going. Then,
yeah.
like, what happened when you stopped selling records and Motswako also stopped happening? Like, what was that era? Like, what happened? If you could explain to us.
All right. Fast forward to when was it? Okay, Ryan left. He sold the business to me. There's one thing that I'm very happy and fortunate. The people that I kept, Nasnev, Ryan, and Bubbles, even still today, they're still my brothers. So I showed love to them. Then when Ryan was leaving, he left for overseas, and he said, "You know what? I'm selling this business because now we're no longer getting that money, that income that we were getting. We used to move about, let's say, 4,000 vinyls a month. Then now we'll be moving like 890 vinyls a month. And the DJs who used to buy 40 vinyls were now buying 5 vinyls. I remember Kanyani, he used to buy a stack of vinyls. He would come to my store. Then 1 minute he would buy 5 records. I say, "Oh, but Kanyani, the records are 5." Then Kanyani would say, "Mix, you know what? Record bought some fun. We going to the digital world. And right now, when I go to a gig, get some slap." I'm like, "What do you mean, not some slap?" No, record disc, no. Eh? I'm like, "No, I'm confused. What do you mean? You're no longer using vinyls?" No, sometimes, but now I'm buying music online, then I'm buying music, and I just use a slapper. And Ryan told me, like, "Mix, in the next 5 years or next few years, things are gonna change. We're moving into the digital era. So I'm selling this shop to you. It's up to you what you're gonna be doing." And that time we have a DJ school at the back, but our main source of income was coming from vinyls. So him leaving, then I'm all alone. It's tough, and I'm still getting vinyls, but I can see that it's dropping. And 1 minute the shop is closing, and I'm feeling blue. I feel like I lost. My shop is closing, and there's one of the biggest record stores in Zanzi, but after a few months, Solkin is also closing. Okay, South Africa is also closing. So I see, okay, a lot of shops are now closing. They are being affected by the digital era. They are no longer buying that vinyl for 150 or 200. They're just downloading a song on Juno for $40 or for $30, and then it's easier now. They're no longer carrying vinyls. It's labor.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now the shop is closed, and I'm crying. I'm home, and I don't know what to do. I'm married that time. There's kids there, and my marriage is not going very well. The shop is closed. We're trying to open Motswako Underground with Ryan, because Ryan says, "Now, what we can do right now, since we go into the digital era, let's make songs." Because that time, a lot of people were not making songs. Only a few guys were making songs. Yeah. Hans Big Soul was one of the few guys that I could see that he's got some songs and some interesting, beautiful songs. He was lit. He's still lit.
Yeah.
And Nasty Nev. So we got those guys together, then we released them digitally on good platforms. And we printed some vinyls, and then that's how Motswako was born. It was nice at Motswako, but then Ryan went overseas again.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan is my brother. You know, Ryan can just change his mind.
Yeah.
And I couldn't continue with that because of that time. I'm no longer releasing albums. Those For Real House Styles albums. For Real Records is closed. I'm dying inside. Motswako and Drogant is doing very well, but now he left, and there's some complications there. I'm not releasing any albums, but I'm gigging. Funny enough, I'm not releasing album, but I'm gigging. But I want something to fall back on. I want a foundation to fall back. I can't just be a DJ and not work in a store or not doing something. Then things were kind of tough at the time. Your business is down, it's closed, and come on, I'm going through a lot. Come on, my marriage is not going well. Like there was just a lot of things going, But what I did, I had to keep my head up. I had to DJ, keep on DJing, keep on DJs. And I remember I was at home, and I wanted to do something big, but I didn't know what to do. Then I saw an album, Lulu Cafe, Deep House Chronicles 2, where already there was Deep House Chronicles 1.
Yeah.
1 was done by Malankani, 2 was done by Lulu Cafe. I see it on TV. I'm like, okay, they advertise it on SABC 1 prime time. I need to hook up talking. Emailing Harel. Yo, Harel, this is Mix. You remember me from back in the days, USM Records, blah, 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 blah. I used to work with Alan Kid Funk.
Yeah.
After 2 days, I got the mail back. I say, hey, man, how you doing? I'm like, bro, I want to release Deep House Chronicles 3. Immediately give me the deal. The following year, 2011.
Go on.
I released an album. My things were a bit low.
Yeah.
But I released my album, then that's when I joined So Kenny as an artist.
Before we talk about that, I want to ask you about just your mindset with regards to, because during difficult times, bro, like it's almost easy to choose to just let go and complain and be like, things are bad. Kind of like the situation now, like COVID-19 affected everyone, like the lockdown affected everyone, but mostly artists and DJs, because if you are an artist or you are a DJ and the only thing that you do is performance, it's DJing, that's how you make income. During the time like this, it can be very, very difficult, you understand? And some of us, like I'm fortunate that I'm able to do this show, even though it's not generating income, but I also have like a freelance job that I do that helps me like balance, on the side. But I want to know mentally, how did you deal with things like your record shop closing? Now Ryan is gone to the UK. Now, like, you're not really making as much as you used to do, and you still have personal issues. Mentally, how did you handle that situation?
Right, it was a heavy load. I'm not gonna lie to you, and you must understand that I've always been doing things on my own. Even though I had guys that I was working with, and I learned a lot of things. And the only way that could keep me going was just to find myself, because it was a lot to take in that time, and the shop is closed. I mean, my baby is closed, for real is closed, and I'm no longer releasing albums. And like I just didn't know what to do. And at one stage, let's say, well, there was a time I was going through a divorce. At the same time, there was just so many things. I spent like a year of not DJing. I didn't tell anyone. I spent a year because of I just separated with my ex-wife, and now my main side is, I don't know, it's off. And that time I can't even go to gigs. If I go to gigs, people look at me like, I should let him say. They start speaking and talking, and my mindset was not okay. Come on, the shop is closed. It's just so many things. So what I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a break. And the reason why I took a break was just to find myself, and so I can able to connect with my creator, so I can know what to do. You know what I mean? And I know music heals. There's one thing that helped me was music. But even though I took a break, I was always on the net buying music on Beatport, listening to mixtapes. But I took a break for a year just to cleanse and just to focus on myself. Okay, so I can able to heal and think straight. And once coming out of it, I became stronger than than before.
Yeah.
And it made me stronger. And a lot of people were not aware that I took a gap year. That's the nice thing about being us, type of DJ we are. whether we've got a big record or no big record, you still get bookings.
Yeah.
Whether you spend the whole year not paying, next year they'll book you. So that was the craziest thing I saw. I thought maybe within that year, the following year, I'm not gonna get bookings because I'm not relevant anymore. But people were booking me while I was off. Like, hey, Mix, we want you to come play, go Botswana. I was like, no, I can't do Botswana. I'll forward you Malangani's contacts. So I was always redirecting my gigs.
Nice.
Because I wanted to heal first. I wanted I just wanted to pray so I can able to do things the right way. Then I prayed for it. Pray for knowledge. Then I got the knowledge until today.
Man, it's so powerful that you mentioned that. But I want to say to people who are watching this, if you are going through some sort of mental issues and mental problems, especially as an artist, on this show, every first Monday of the month. So the next Monday will be the 6th of July. I have a psychiatrist on the show called Dr. Gwen Tonyani. She's at the Live Kastenhof Hospital. And she's basically a therapist. You know, you don't need to be sick, guys. You don't need to be sick to see a psychiatrist. If you think, no. Sometimes like there are issues that are beyond us, that are taking over us mentally, and sometimes we don't have the mental strength to pull ourselves out of those issues, you know. So we need those people who are trained for such things. And so if you are one of those people and you need help, check out those contacts, Dr. Gwen Tonyane at the Live Kastenhof in Midrand. And some people, though, who might not go the medical route, might go the spiritual route. And that's fine. If that works for you, that's cool too. I'm a spiritual person myself. But I know you are also a spiritual person. Wow,
yeah, man, I'm a fully Jehovah's Witness. And what I do door to door, bro. Like I go house to house and I preach the word of God. Those are the things that you don't know about me. And funny enough, people know me, bro. Like I just knock and I'm like, hey, Mix. What is good? That's how ke na le mme o ka mola re dumelang lebitso la ka ke nna brother Mix tsamaya le mme le thetsa re tlile go le ruta ka bible like our Mix wena. I'm telling you, man, that is the weirdest thing. I do that even before pandemic, man. That is what I do, and I enjoy that job. I enjoy doing that because of, you know, it gives me closure to my creator, and my things they're already around, and I get wisdom because of I teach people about the name of God, teach people about Jesus Christ, and I teach people about the things that are happening today that are written in the Bible. You know what I mean? So I'm a teacher. I used to be a teacher at Boston, so I might as well teach.
You might as well teach the Bible, my man. For sure. I love that. And Nagwe, when after you released Kosol Kendi, just to get back a bit, after you released the Deep House Chronicles, you also came together when Ale Funk Deepstar and DJ Malankani and started doing compilations with Soul Candy. Tell us about that brotherhood, Limajitaba.
Sure. Yeah, ne.
I mean, eventually Lina Latzinga, Ostkambo as well, part of then you guys became four. But just tell us about the brotherhood.
Yes, you know, obviously we meet. I'm friends with a lot of DJs, and some of my good DJ friends, it's Malankani. That's a very, very happy, chill dude, and Funk. They will take rent up line. So you must understand already. Malankani used to work for Deep K, and Deep K was owned by Soul Candy, so he was working at the record store. Soul Candy, obviously. Funk Deepstar was releasing nice mixtapes with Les Berenrod, with Deeper Shades, and he got a deal with Soul King to release an album as well. I think he did a Deep House Chronicles as well.
Yes.
So we decided to come together to do like a combo album, and that album was one of the greatest albums we released at Soul Candy, because I brought my fans into the compilation as well as Malankani. So we brought all our people and they bought the album. So it was a nice combo because of we were now coming together as DJs and bringing our sounds together so people can able to understand or fine. There's three DJs with three different mindsets of music. So MIGGS plays this type of music, and funk has its own style. Umalangan is more soulful. So it was a nice deal actually, and I wish we could do that again. I wish we could come together and do something like that. But I think in good time we can do it. And they're still my brothers, I still speak to Funk. They still come to my store. Look, Oscar, they still come and check me out. I mean, I think I'm one of the I'm the happy guy. I like peace. I'm always with like all these DJs are my friends, and because I need them in my life because of they always come to me whenever they're going through difficult times because they saw me at my worst. Yeah, they saw me at my worst, worst. And I kept my smile even though I was going through the most. Right, imagine when I was married. Every time I go to gigs, I'll go with my wife. 1 minute, I'm by myself. You know what I mean? You know that. So they'll always ask me, and then they'll speculate, they'll know, my son, and that thing used to kill me. Like, now we are that couple. She's an artist. She loves singing. I love DJing. Then we go to my gigs. She loves my music. Then 1 minute she's not there. And the fact that they saw everything, then I became, I came out of that situation stronger, and they saw me at that point that I was not happy, and it sort of motivates them. Like even when they're having their own problems, they come to me like, "Hey, brother, mix it okay." So that's why I'm keeping these people, these friends of mine, so I can able to tell them about my past, my stories, so they can able to utilize that in their own lives. You know what I mean? So they can able to be fine as well.
Yeah. I want us to talk about your school, because you've got a school that you set up, and I'm very happy that you did, cause and to see it doing well, and wapusha mixara jo online ne kya wona ra di man wapusha jo you always promoting your school, you always promoting your students, how about now you take a picture, here's a new student so
Yes.
for register. Tell us about that. Why did you start the school and how is it going so far?
All right. Going back, obviously after coming out of my problems, I spending that gap year, and obviously when you give yourself time to heal and time, you're gonna get wisdom. You know what I mean? You're gonna pray for strength and wisdom. So immediately after that, I got a call from Soul Candy. Funny enough. And because Soul Candy was now fusing with Boston.
Yes.
Yeah, so they say, in Pretoria, we have to look for someone who can teach music business, music theory, and DJing. And they only called me. There was no interview. I just got a call. Miggs, like, hi, we would like you to come to Boston and be a teacher. A teacher? Like teaching, lecture? Yeah, lecturing. But I don't know how to lecture. That's what I said. I remember. Hey man, you used to teach people how to DJ. Yes, and with that, those people that you taught, they're very happy. So come. I went there. I went to Boston, and Boston, they loved me because now I'm at Boston. A lot of people are coming to Boston now. That means it's there. I can see a lot of people coming to register. They come into my class. I had a theory class, bro, like a theory class where I talk about licensing, some raw stuff. Talk about for example, this book. You know what I mean? I'll talk about this book of mine, how to DJ. You know what I mean? So what I'll do, I'll just open up a book and talk about how to play out, how to warm up as a DJ, how to read the crowd. So I'll teach people about those things, and I'll teach them about how to release your music online, how to play at bigger events, and how to be famous. So those are the things that I was teaching at Boston. And at the same time, I've got a mentorship program with the NYDA, the government sector.
Hold on. Before, because I wanted to ask you about that, but I want to get back to this book,
Yeah.
we were chatting about it just now. This book,
Yeah.
there are topics studying how to market yourself online. And
Yeah,
and this book, Kialing, when did you Kialing this book?
2001.
So in 2001, there was a chapter of how to market yourself online as a DJ. Ka
No,
2001.
that time we don't have Twitter, we don't have Facebook.
We had
The only thing
MySpace.
that we had was MySpace and email.
And you've had this book ever since. It's not like Khalona Leon.
Oh, yes, you know what I mean. And thank God for this book because it taught me so many things. You know what I mean? It taught me, okay, fine, you want to learn how to DJ, go to a DJ school. Then I went to a DJ school. Okay, you want to promote yourself, look for somebody that you love, and then tell them about whatever you want to do, and they'll help you. So this book talks about that. You want to release music online, all right? There's Juno.co.uk, and they show you how to register with Juno. So everything that I learned, I've been utilizing throughout my year. You want to release an album, you need to go to a record label, make a demo CD. If they like your demo CD, they'll release you. So this book, I love this book, my friend, because this book gave birth to For Real as a school. It changed from selling vinyls into an institution. And this book took me to Boston. You know what I mean? And Boston was very amazed that I could come and make notes and teach kids about this. Because the reviews that I used to get from the students, they were happy. You know, my class used to be so full, bro. Like I'll have about 80 people in one room, and I'll be in front, and I'll be going, and they'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about how to become bigger. How, for example, let's go to how to be famous. Ne? I'm to be famous in mode 276. Don't worry, man. I love teaching. 276 and Udula Eri. This is very interesting. Okay, 276. This is very interesting. How to be famous. They say for you to generate fame, you need to make songs. You need to make tracks, and more tracks and more tracks. The fastest way to get yourself known is to make fantastic songs that will chat. That was 2001, man.
2001. And can you just imagine by now how much things have changed, but still fundamentally it's still the same. You know, like if
I'm
you
telling
wanna
you.
get
Yeah.
ahead, you have to create quality and you have to be out there. You know, if you're not out there and you're not creating quality, but you wanna be at the same level with this guy or this lady who's creating quality
Yeah.
and they're getting themselves out there, you're gonna be very slow. But talking about your
Yeah.
students, one of them has actually just commented on Facebook. His name is Lucas Cox
Yeah.
Pro DJ. He says, I was one of his students in 2008, and I'm proud of you myself. I'm proud of you, Lepar or Lepar, Aro Lepar. You know, I want to ask you about students, right? The students that's how because you've been teaching, bro, like since
Yes.
For Real to Boston and now to owning your own institution.
Yes.
How are your students? How would you compare your students from back then and the current students?
You know, right now I get a lot of students compared to then, um, because of social media and because of the way I promote the school and the platform that I get like this. I get a lot of people. I get people that just most people that I get, they just want to play. They just want to be seen and play music and get paid. Wow, the DJ that I talked back in the days, it was more of a passion. You know what I mean? They want more information about DJ. They want that lecture. But today's DJs, students that I get, most of them, they're all about, you know what? So, heck, Feta, get your guys. Then I'm like, no, don't worry about the money first. The money you are gonna get paid, but make sure we get it right first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people are now going into it because of the especially female DJs. They see Lamise, they see and then they're doing big things, and they're thinking, fine, I'm gonna DJ, I'm gonna learn how to DJ, and then I'm gonna make money immediately. They don't know that it takes time for you to for the world to able to trust you. You know, you need to promote yourself in the right way that people can able to buy your music and buy into your product. If you are a new student at FOREAL, for example, what I tell them is this is what you must do. Because once you finish at FOREAL, I take you to NYDA to mentor you, to do a mentorship program. The mentorship program is how to promote yourself online. I have that. I tell them the same thing that I learned from this book. Then you need to do mixing. You must create your own podcast. And you must be consistently on that podcast. You must release your mixtape. People can able to hear your work and download your work. And you need to make songs. And once you get your content out there, it might take you a year or 2 or 3, but eventually you win. Life is like that. It's like a seed, right? You know, a seed. When you plant it in a rich soil, and when you sit like a meat, you know what I mean? You water it. You know, it comes out nicely in a nice small tree. But in 5 years, the tree is huge. Yeah. In the next 10 years, it gives you fruits. It gives you that apple or that pear.
Yeah.
So your career has to be that way. Yeah. So that is what I teach them. I'm giving them example as well. Like, guys, you know what?
Sure.
This is what I've done, and I'm only now I'm happy now. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Only now I'm enjoying it because of I work hard throughout. It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years.
20 years. But I want to ask you quickly if you can just explain your relationship with the NYDA and what they stand for, because I think like there's other information many people don't have, especially in our scene, that they could actually use platforms like the NYDA. What is it that you do with them? And then bone Spanish le bone ke eng like?
All right. Initially, I was mentored by the NYDA. So I was one of those guys that wanted information about anything, especially music-wise. Going back, I'll answer that question. Going back, I was one of the first people in the country to do the Red Bull Music Academy. You know, I did that, bro. In 2001. 2001, I did the Red Bull Music. I used to tour with Craig Massive. So I used to get a lot of information. I used to receive good lectures from them. So with the NYDA, I saw that the NYDA, what they do, they've seen that a lot of people are suffering in terms of having their own businesses. So what I do with them, I take my students and some of the people that are not even my students, and I bring them together, and I take them to NYDA, where I have a class at the NYDA where I give them a session about the music business, you know, about if you want to go into business, what must you do? And I teach them that, okay, fine, now you go into music business, you need to open up your own business. You need to open a business account. You need to register your business. You need to do a profile about your business. Then once that is done, then the NYDA, what the NYDA does, they take them and then they also give them a certificate, and they what is it? They fund them. They give them funding. They give them funding then for like 50,000. Imagine. So meaning after getting all that info at the NYDA, you apply for funding. So that's what I'm helping them. Then once you apply for funding, and then they can see that, okay, fine, you're legit. You've got the equipment ready. I mean, you've got your certificates ready. You've got your tax clearance ready. Then they buy equipment.
Yeah.
You know, for 50K, which is, and it's for free, just like that. It's a mentorship program that helps those who are less fortunate. You know what I mean? So that is what I do with that, and then I'm connecting it with FOREAL because I have a lot of students that are actually less fortunate. You know, and some students don't even have money to pay for my course, but I take you, and I take you, then I teach you, then I say, you know what, when things are hard. I think it's important for you to go to NYDA, then they do the mentorship program and they open their own businesses and they get equipment and they come crying to me and they cry. They cry. I'm like, oh, why are you crying? No one to see it, Joe. banzamile ka equipment nyana, so can only basically top nyana the CJs now can go to weddings and play. So that is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing throughout just after leaving Boston, because immediately after leaving Boston, I focus on with NYD and For Real, but so far everything is coming together. You know what I mean?
Bruh, I love this so much, and thank you for sharing as well. I think
Yeah,
people like you who are doing what they do, bruh, like it's important. But you also did a music workshop last year with For Real.
yeah,
How did that go? Are workshops still an important thing? I mean, I know, for example, SAMC from
yes,
2008 has been
yes.
for me, like it
Remember?
helped me a lot, and
Yeah.
is it still important and necessary to host music workshops?
I did one last year. The only problem is that we didn't get funding. We applied, but we never got funding. But even if you don't get funding, you just need to dig deep in your pockets. But the expo was very nice. I've been doing it almost every year. I think the first one that I did was in 2014. No, 2012. 2012. That's the first episode I did. I like teaching. Let's see what I like to share information. If I have to choose between DJ and teaching, I'll teach. I'll choose teaching. Yeah. I'm teaching people how to DJ and how to get into the industry and how to do things right. You know what I mean? That is my passion. My passion is just teaching. So the expo was quite nice. I had Ralph Gum. I had so I had sculptured music. Wow, he was great. So I had a lot of good DJs who came, were part of the panel. I had people coming in. I had China, like I had everybody. They just came into the expo and they enjoyed the setup during the day. And the evening was just a party. And one thing that I liked about the expo, during the day, I invited NYDA, I invited the arts and culture, I invited all the people who fund, so they can able to see what we do. You know what I mean? And I invited Samro, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
And they all came and they gave good lectures. And that is what I love doing. So I've realized that for the past 20 years, actually, 70% of the 20 years that I spent, that I've been being a DJ, I've been teaching. Actually,
Yeah.
I just realized that I've been teaching. You may see me as a DJ, playing, mixing, like Adamano Watala, but actually, my passion is teaching. My passion is getting 40 people and me sitting and speaking to those 40 people and comforting them that this industry is not easy. It's difficult, but if you really want it, if you're passionate about it, and this is what you have to do: follow the protocol, follow the guidelines that I give you, and then in time you make it.
Yeah.
In time you make it. I mean, Mudimu Ratao, the God loves us all, but any energy you put into your work, whether it's production or your skill, eventually you get the rewards. That's how life is. Yeah.
Definitely. And Bragg, just before we close, I want to ask you about one of your students, because I always say that it's very important to see. Well, for me, I find it important when I see people from my scene, the underground deep house scene, especially.
Yes.
I love seeing people like this appear on platforms, on big platforms that we don't casually see a deep house person on. And you were on
Yes.
Bonang's show because of your student, Pinky Girl, right? I just want to ask you. And you know what I like about that is that she actually plays Soulful House. I'm like, yes, this is what we need. You know what I mean? Just tell me about like the energy. Where is she still a student for you?
Well, she has to graduate. We can't graduate because of this pandemic, obviously. We're just gonna we have to offer a certification of complications, obviously, for her to complete. Yeah. So what happened with Pinky? Pinky was a friend of mine. She loves my music. She's always been a friend of mine from back in the days, and then she came to my school. And when she came to my school, she knows my hustle. She knows where I come from. She knows, like she's somebody that knows me very well. And the fact that she came to the school and she saw that, okay, fine, this guy comes from Boston, and now he just opened a small studio in Yana where people come in. And she saw that, no, a lot of people come in and we can come and chill and listen to music and speak about our problems or be happy and be free. And then, as I was teaching, I said, you know what, I want to bring my people, my crew here, and to see what I do, what I love. So I want to learn how to play, so you can able to assist me. And then 1 minute I'm there, and I see 100 cameras coming to For Real. I see that drone flying up. I'm like, then I just see her coming with people. Like, hey, this is serious.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lie to you. Even that time, I was getting students. I was getting enough students. But after that episode, I think I got 100 students.
Nice.
Women.
Nice one. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. You know what? After that episode, I just, just like God works in mysterious ways. God loves your hustle. Whatever you are doing, what you've been doing for so long, at the end of the day, you're gonna be blessed. At the end of the day, you're gonna get something. You're gonna get the rewards. That's how life is. You're gonna get the rewards. Then she came. That time we had about 60 students. I wish I'm happy. Having 60 students at NYD and at For Real. My things are going. 1 minute after the TV show, 100 students.
Yeah, nice one. I love that, bro. I love that so much. And also, look, just in closing, two things that I want to talk about, because I've seen you've always been selling stuff like equipment, but I've seen you doing it a lot ever since lockdown because the school has been closed. But a lot of DJs needed like equipment now. DJs are realizing, hey, how can equipment now? I need to find something. I need to do a live, and you've been selling that equipment, and that's going so well. So guys, if you want equipment, DJ and sound equipment, Mix is your guy. Gonna send you.
I've been selling DJ equipment since 2001. I've got an account with everyone in your country and overseas. I just pioneer with Pro Audio or Audio Show. Like, I've been fortunate because Ryan was connected. So when he left me with For Real, I still had those contacts. So what are you looking for? ESO, for pioneers?
You're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy. But also you've been selling merchandise. Like me, I sell this Bread for Soul merchandise. You sell your For Real stuff. Yeah, that's what's up. If you and I see, a lot of people. It's dope to see a lot of guys selling sweaters now and stuff. Let's sell, guys. Like even if you see people selling sweaters, get in there, sell what you need to sell. If you have your own following, they will support you. And these are the For Real sweaters. I've just posted a picture there. People to check online. Dope sweaters. You can get them from MIGGS.
This pandemic, my friend. This pandemic we had to work with the time. We have to move with the time. So, pandemic, we're not getting gigs, bro. We're not gigging, my friend. The whole year, all our gigs are cancelled. I can only see you via Zoom now. I don't even meet up with you anymore at gigs. You know what I mean? And we miss that. But for us to keep on moving, let's sell small things so we can able to eat. You know what I mean? So we can able to survive. This pandemic now is killed. No, it's a lesson we have to learn from this pandemic. So if it happens again, we must be fully.
We are ready. We are ready. But one of the things that you sell as well is Rizla. My man, are you still selling Rizla rolling paper?
Let me be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out, the Rizla, but the reason why it did not come out is because I was now connecting with the government. I'm connecting with the NYDA and the culture, and I'm teaching up and coming kids, and I'm mentoring. So I realized, if I release this, and releasing a Rizla will give me so much money. I know for a fact because I just get a barcode, make sure, go overseas, make sure that the paper is set. Then I speak to the right people. Then you will find it at the garage, anywhere in the country, and I make lots of money. But I have to think about the fact that I'm spiritually now. I'm teaching people the Bible. I'm teaching people about music, and I'm inspiring young kids. But let me do it the right way. You know what I mean? I can be gangster, but I think it's a drug at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to sit down and think. Like, I knew that releasing a Rizla will give me lots of money. It was a nice deal. I know for a fact, but I had to choose. Like, fine, I've chosen to do that. Not that it's a bad thing, but I'd say, you know what, let me be a good example to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even when you look for funding, when they Google you, they find Rizla.
Regisa dizolo. Baro regisa dizolo. Yeah, they go out, bro. And I appreciate that so much. But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, just in closing, Mix, is there anything? What are some of the mistakes that you have done that you learned from as a person?
Well, in terms of music wise, well, I don't know, bro. Like, I can't recall. It's only on personal basis, you know what I mean. But music, I've always been learning. You know, even if you learn, you fail. You learn, you fail, and because of I've been learning from this book as well. So I knew that one day I'll fail, but if I fail, I have to still come up. You know, the only difficult time that I encounter is it's when I lost my marriage. That's the one thing that really actually triggered me. Other than anything, music, even if I fall in music, I'll still get up because I'm passionate, you know, and there's always ideas, you know, and you may think people, I know people make a lot of mistakes, obviously, but we learn from it. But if you're passionate, even if you make a mistake, it's nothing. Like, okay, fine, I'll do it better. You know what I mean? Don't take it personal because of we are imperfect. That's how God created us, to be imperfect. So the only dent that I had then, it was the marriage part of it. Yeah, and it taught me a lot of things that you must not take things for granted as well, and then you just need to focus and have a lot of respect for that platform as well. So yeah, so that's what I it comes from my personal basis, basically.
Yeah. Nah, my man. Now I'm glad that you're sharing this, and also that, I mean, like you say, all of us do make mistakes. You know, like nobody has a
Yes.
perfect life, and it's important that when you find yourself as a person, just in general, to whoever is watching, if you find
Yeah.
yourself making a mistake and you're not happy about it, and you're kind of going through a bad time about it, realize it for what
Yes.
it is. It is a mistake, and then do
Yes.
better next time. You know, then find your feet again, but don't dwell into a mistake that, you know, like 10 years, 20 years down the line, you're still suffering
No.
from the same mistake that you did. That's not life.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be
It's
trapped by
like,
your mistakes. Yeah.
yeah, it's a learning process. Then I told myself that, you know what, I'm gonna come out great. I'm gonna do all the things that I love doing, which is teaching as well, and which is DJing, which is mentoring kids, and also riding my skateboard.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, so it
I
was
didn't know that
war.
that you skate, eh?
Right. So yesterday it was World Skating Board Day yesterday. So yeah, I was skating the whole day.
Nice one, nice one. Okay.
All people are watching me skating in my wood. I'm like, this is skating. Like, I'm gonna but it's got away. I'm gonna get away.
At least now we know what you do for fun, bro. But
I know.
anyway, Bragg, I just wanna say thank you so much for spending your time, you know, and sharing your knowledge and experiences. I really appreciate this, bro.
Fanagana, to be honest, I'm humbled that you invited me and that I shared all my deep underground stories with everybody. Then whatever I told you today, whatever I shared with you, it's I hope it can help the next person that even though we go down, we need to come up. But the thing they need to come up, you know what I mean? And my mentality was very sharp because even if my DJing careers, things didn't go the way. It was not a flop for me because I knew I could do better because I needed to consult the book. I needed to consult Nastimif. I needed to consult Bubbles. I needed to consult the people who've been doing it for years so they can say, no, when this happens, when you go to a gig and you play and people don't dance, it means you're doing something interesting and good. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that is what I have learned. So luckily, I had brothers who always backed me up, and I have guys like you who always there for me. You know, I mean, always there for me, and I'm just asking what it's really more blessed, you know, and because you're doing great things. I mean, this is a great platform for everyone, and the fact that you came up with this and you're doing this, that makes me happy, and it shows already you're more than a DJ. Yeah, you're not just a DJ fella, and you make good music. Come on, you make good music. Come on, you or currently Zoom. Yeah, but for so
Give roto. No, my man. Thank you so much, Mixara. All the best with you and your school, my man. Like I
I'm going to
so
school now. I'm
yeah,
going.
we are spanning. But actually, I really wish that in the future we're gonna see for real Ilokuma Fiking. We're gonna see for real in Durban. We're gonna see for real
Yes,
everywhere. So that it can really
yes.
grow into what it should
We
be for
we
sure.
tap into that, but I didn't want to speak about it
Yeah.
because there's one thing that I learned. There's those plans that you have that you want to do. You must always keep them. Shh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then yeah, they might just see them. Hey, there's
Yeah.
another branch here for
But
you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So sometimes when we speak, the devil is listening.
Mm.
They don't happen.
Mara, this time I'm telling you, the devil is a liar. If he's there watching, we are telling him, Uma, come on, go child.
Yeah, show me truth.
Jehovah's Witness. Ne, braga, thank you. Ertla, where you spanning, then I need to do my own things there. But
Yes, man.
thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yes, to everyone who's watching this, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please share the video. Please tag other people in the comments who might learn from it, who might find it interesting. And let's remember to stay creative. Peace out.